Her mountain, the call. Meanwhile, Eno-Obong was still in the church. The church was alive. Voices lifted, hands raised. The weight of eternity lingered in the air. Eno-Obong stood among the congregation, but she wasn't fully there. The pastor's voice echoed, calling souls forward, just like before. And suddenly, she remembered when she had responded to the call herself. It had come as a shock to everyone. Her friends couldn't believe it. Born again? You? To them, it didn't make sense. Among the youth, being born again was seen as extreme restrictive, a life without fun, a surrender of freedom. To parents, it was often misunderstood too. Don't go too deep. Just be moderate. Religion is good, but don't lose yourself. There was a quiet fear, a silent resistance, because to be truly born again meant something radical. But Eno-Obong knew the joy of surrendering to Jesus Christ. She knew she was not losing, but building on the sure foundation. A life without Christ is like building a house on sand. It may stand for a while, it may even look beautiful, but when the storms come, it collapses. To be born again is to lay your life on a solid foundation, a foundation that cannot be shaken, not a restriction, but a rescue, not bondage, but truth. It happened for her 5 years ago, in April, Good Friday. As she watched the film about the birth, life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the church lights dimmed as the screen came alive. The story began. The life, the suffering, the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. She watched as he was beaten, mocked, scourged without mercy, flesh torn, blood flowing, a crown of thorns pressed into his head, piercing, crushing. They nailed his hands, they nailed his feet, lifted him up, on the cross, hanging between heaven and earth, rejected, broken, alone. And then, his voice. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew 27:46. The weight of that moment, for her, for everyone. Tears streamed down Eno-Obong's face. Not just emotion, revelation. It was no longer a distant story. It became personal. She saw her emptiness, her wandering, her quiet hunger for meaning. And in that moment, she surrendered to Jesus. It was a beautiful experience for her, to feel the weight of your guilt and shame lifted. But something else was happening, unseen. The man of darkness stirred, whispering, "This won't last. You won't fit in anymore. You'll lose everything." Doubt crept in. Fear followed. But then, a stronger voice, a deeper call. She yielded to the Holy Spirit. She stepped forward, heart trembling, yet certain. She surrendered her life to Jesus Christ. Heaven rejoiced. A soul was born again. Hell wept. A captive was set free. Another loss for them, the devil, and a win for heaven.
What? Born what? He exclaimed. Are you? He didn't finish the sentence. His voice was filled with shock. Her boyfriend couldn't believe it. This wasn't the girl he knew. On her part, Eno-Obong felt crushed. She had mustered up all the strength she had to tell him. She was of the school of thought which says a girl should never have one boyfriend. So there were 2 men in her life. One, driven by desire, love she had believed. The other, offering comfort, gifts, and attention. But neither understood what had just happened. Her younger boyfriend, the one she loved, tried to stay calm. He asked questions, listened, tried to understand. Deep down, she still hoped that he would come along, that he would accept Christ too, that he would even choose to marry her, so they wouldn't live in sin. But his reaction changed. Shock turned to confusion, confusion to mockery. When she refused his gifts,
He laughed. When she refused intimacy, he was stunned. This wasn't love as he understood it. So he watched, closely, waiting, hoping she would change back. But she didn't. And when he finally gave up, she held on to a thin thread of hope that he would still do right. But when he didn't, she chose God, over comfort, over desire, over compromise. Then came the pain. He moved on, with another girl, even more beautiful. It cut deep.
Ekom couldn't understand it. Are you okay at all? You let him go just like that? To her, it was madness. Such a guy was rare, and for a moment, Eno-Obong felt it too. The pull to go back, to fix it, to reclaim what she lost. But she chose differently, not because it was easy, but because it was right, even without the joy everyone talked about. She held on, tries to forget him, make new friends that share the same faith with her. She didn't want to lose Ekom, too. So she tried, explained, persuaded, invited her into this new life. Ekom couldn't understand. Why change your dressing? Why become so different? Back and forth they went. Ekom teased her lightly about joining Deeper Life Church, questioned her choices. Eno-Obong stood her ground, explaining modesty, purpose, identity, each trying to pull the other to their side. A pretty girl like you should not waste away in those costumes you wear. Eno-Obong asked her if she would rather she continue with skimpy, revealing clothes she used to wear. Well, baby, it's your life. Suit yourself. But I don't want to be a part of that. And then, at the end of it all, Ekom paused, curious, maybe even sincere. Okay, tell me. How did this happen? When did you change like this? The memory faded. The church came back into focus. The call was still being made, and Eno-Obong stood there, knowing exactly what it meant to answer. When the foundation is right, the life will stand. Watch out for Acts 2, Chapter 16. Please subscribe, like, share, and send your comments.